Last week, the bowing can be very simple. All right, so just going to the left. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's get those. And we'll start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Let your arm relax from this position to this position, just like that. And when a bit of you moves, all of you moves. So what you don't want is this should be all linked up, so that if the shoulder's going, the arm's going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The movement's initiated from the center. Response to the spine, your shoulder, your arm, your fingers, it's all moving. Okay? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 5. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do we want to cultivate that habit of when a bit of us move yours? Yeah, and why would that be important? One good answer. Yes. Another reason? Maximize our power. Demonstrate. So if you want to stand in a relatively raised position for open chest, okay, so you want to hold the balance. So I'm going to use my arms to push. Okay. Good stance. Quite a bit of power needed to push you, but you're moving. But if I just move to my center, so much easier to move you, and I'm in control of where I feel connected to you throughout. But at the end of this, I'm kind of at the end of my tether, and if you grab the sword and pull, you make that point about me being out of balance. So to maximize your power, to stay in balance, you want to kind of be moving as a unit. When time I don't really continuous units when someone's got hold of a bit of me, but I can't move that bit. And I let them have that bit and I move all the bits that I can move. All right, and back to us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Stretch back. Stay. Keep yourselves. Front. Hips low. Up as you possible. Into reverse. And onto the knee, forward, so to speak. So I want you to arch up, push it coming down. Arch up. Down. Again. Yes. And so make sure there's some space and you will turn to the center. So left foot forward. Okay, so our theme for tonight is lines. There's a lot of them in Aikido, okay? So there are 2 lines I want you to focus on here. Straight line to the center, straight line back. So try not to weave a lot. The second straight line is your body position, right? So don't let your body at top of your body maybe lean in a bit too much and be doing all the bottom half of your body even. You want to be turning more position to the nice. Okay. More body positioning. that verticality, I want to maintain that. The last line we're thinking about is through the middle, near the centre line. Okay? We're going to be pivoting around that. That's the real centre of this. We just turn right, just turn one. One. Did that change the positive nature of that exercise? Yeah. Suddenly it felt a bit more energetic. Seems to be a bit more in it. Good, carry on. One, two. Now we're on the side. Two turns. One. 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 So notice where you are in relation to the line that you're standing behind, and where you end up, and try to make sure that that's where you start and you finish. Where are you focusing on when you finish too? There's a line. The line of energy where your focus and your intention should be going. One offline. I need to leverage. One. Yeah. Offline. One. Good. So let's take that into head count. So, in some schools, they do this. And I never understand why. This strikes me as weird. So I'm going to let go of you, Pete. And if you would test me from behind, press me very strong. No. Okay. Test me from behind again. Bit more solid. Pretty solid. Yeah. So again, think about our alignment. We're losing our alignment. Lying in the middle of alignment for a reason, I think. I know it's spelled differently, but I suspect they're linked. Okay. Why would we want to give that up? Let's say this time I'm going to bring you to well, so when I come in, you're going to bring me to you now. So I want to come in like that. And do I? No, I'm still on the train here. Yeah. I felt him moving, slowly. Too late. I want to come out of the line. Yeah. I reacted too late to that. Oh, so I should always be moving. Yeah. That's what I said at the beginning. Do we want to do our exercises like this, or do we want to have our whole body go? Right? So turn the hand go. That's the biggest thing we just now for. Come down. You're behind that second one. Don't grab it off the wrist, otherwise we'll never get going. Oh, that's a good cheat. Yeah. Oh, no, sorry, it's swap hands. That's much better. We'll do it all on turn sides. You want the left and you want the right. Okay, no to him. That's also legitimate. What do you feel? That's the thing. So, you know, if he's pretty solid, then you go to him. If there's a little bit more extension forwards, then you bring him to him. So, there's another line. It's this line where we meet, right? What's going on there? Is this neutral, or is it a pull, or is it a push? Because if it's a pull, then I'll definitely go that way. If it's a push, I'll go that way. If it's a kind of meet in the middle, if you feel it's very centered, then I have to go to him. Don't fight it. And if he's not very centered, you'll find that you can get away with things to do. So, what do you feel that's suggesting what your appropriate response should be? Go. Anytime. Okay, good. So there's another line that you can play with, right? But hold that as you're holding. Right? Okay, so I can test this. I know that he's centered and there's power coming out of here. So if I just keep banging against my head against the brick wall, I'm giving him something to move with, but I'm also, if he just wants to stay there, the only person who's losing here is me, because I'm creating pain and no risk. So what do I want to do? I need to appreciate this line of power, align with that line of power, and then move. So going in, it's painful. Why am I going in anymore? I should have noticed there's power. So now I align with that power. So that's my first movement. Everything else happens around that. Yep. So depending on how your partner holds depends on whether this is likely to happen. Okay, so anything going on there, Pete? Not really. So you can do anything down where I like here.
Yeah.
Right? So was it a light hold? It was a light. Still a light hold?
Yeah.
Anything going on? A lot more going on, right? Yeah. Okay. So I can still hold very lightly, but I can still be sending a lot of power forwards. Which if he decides, it's not so obvious to feel it, unless he crashes in and then it's pretty obvious. Okay, you're sensible for that. I can see. Very good. All right, good, excellent. Thank you. Enter the frame.
So I tell what I do. I feel it's like my arm.
Yeah. Interesting. There's a thing. That's very good. So come here and now figure around that spot. How is that? Perfect. So we can use what we feel, but we can also use our eyes. What's going on? Nice. Relax your arm. So you grab my wrist. Okay. So I can do that bit, but if I tense up here, then it becomes really difficult. I can do that bit, stay relax. Easy. It's good. Come on. Don't worry about it. Just be fun. Yeah. Now, turn your hips. Step back. Ta-da! Brilliant. Try to finish parallel. You don't want to be like that. Double. Why you keep up? That's good. So we've worked on the line. So not only is there a forward and back line, but there is an up and down line. What's he trying to do? Maybe he's trying to lift me up. Which case I'm going to follow that. So there's that line I've got to think about. To make a line between us in order to come in. But if he's pushing down, which generally if you're trying to come in is what will happen, then I don't try to go up, that will be done. Right. What's the alternative to working with the line? Is to get off the line or take you off your line. So your line's here. But if I take you that way, I create a circle. So, you know, if you hit a revolving door, you can't walk straight through the revolving door. You've kind of got to go with that centrifugal force to get into the building. So, this car's coming here and it meets this centrifugal force. That will bring him on as well. That can be quite effective. So, if there, if I'm trying to do that from my hand, that becomes quite painful and difficult to do. So where do I generate this circle from? The center. And it's connected to my whole body. So again, come back to that point in the warm-up. Try to work independently from the rest of your body. This is difficult, but work with your whole body and you create something much better. So let's try the circular way of bringing your partner to you. Slow down a bit, feel every bit of this. While you're like you are initially, but I'm going to keep my fingers there as well. I don't need to bring up to this position on this one. I'm going to keep it there. It's different. Go on into vision. Pummel it into submission. Yeah. Okay, couple more. Let's get it straight. Right. So, the only thing I'd like to improve on really is there's a kind of a physical jerk on that initial movement. I'd like you to move slower. So that you can feel when, as you're taking her off balance and as you kind of connect with you. When I'm that far down, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're not going to yet. You're going to turn that. So, there. Okay, so let's just freeze frame it there. Okay. Stay. You're okay if I grab the hips? Okay. So now we're going to rotate this way. Remember to keep that with you. Boom. Yes, that's right. So how do I know? What do I mean by don't disconnect? Okay, so I am pretty centered like that. If you want to push my arm, or can you push it anyway? Okay. That gets you into trouble if there's no power there. Okay, so now I'm going to reconnect the whole system. Now I've got choices. I can choose to stop him, or I can choose to use what he's giving me to enter. So I'm extending key to my fingers. There's just a little block there. Yep. So at this point, I need to rely more on my hips. Yeah, cool. Good. Yes, good. Take time. I'm just going to help you extend from there. Yes, perfect. Take your time and enjoy. You're not at the moment. Okay, so extending that way, you've got a big circle going around you. Use your hips. Good, really good, really good. Couple more. Keep it going, you're being successful. Okay, keep big circle with your hips. Connect it to your arm. Relax. Yeah. One more. Keep it going. There'll be 4 successful ones in a row.
I think you get a bit hesitant.
Yeah.
That's all. So you just sort of like,
Yeah, that is what we'll do.
rather than just, that's what it feels like.
Ah, that was a really good one. That's it. Good. Right. So we have this line between us. We have this vertical line which we can turn around. And now we have this line across us as well. This would not be so good. It's not going to be. I need to be aligned with my partner to get the throw to work, or this particular throw. So come up, I align. And then we've got a vertical line as well. So you've got the horizontals and you've got the verticals. You good about this? Yes, you are. Come on. Slow, please. Yeah. So now the vertical, you're extending upwards, and now you're extending down. And so when but when you're going down, you don't want to be like this. You are shifting your hips to the side and you're dipping down at the same time, so that you've still got this nice straight alignment that's balanced, and you can shift position very quickly if you need. Try again. Good. And now relax at this point. Relax and sink your center down. Yes. Lots of ways to sink your center down. Okay, so I can literally physically drop it. If I have that connection with all of me, so that's linked to here, everything's a nice block, if you like. That works really, really nicely. It's just my hips. Nothing really happens. Yes, again, this quantum being, everything must be linked together. I could just, rather than shifting my weight that way, I could just pull it like that. And then in the end, I just compare. It's a very different movement. Very different movement. But it's good to encourage the habit by getting that feeling of sinking. Okay. You'd love to have a go. You can't wait.
You can.
Get to the side. Lift up. Nice. There you go. Lift up. And very nice. Very good. Back. And up. Down. And remember when you lift up, just as it's all of your body that moves together, all of your mind too. So if I kind of do this randomly while thinking about my day, it won't work. I got everything out. I got everything down. Yeah, good. And one thing you can do to make sure that happens is as you're looking up, you say up. And then you say down as you're going down. I tell you what, your mind will follow. As we're about to find out. Up. Down. Yes. Yes, good. And then we want to put a little bit more. We can be thinking down, up, down. We're going to take down, up, down. A little bit just your arm rather than the rest of you. Down, up. Did you use a little bit of resistance on the way down?
Well, I don't think it was clean down.
I think that's right. If you assess that correctly. Okay, so down, up. If I'm going down too soon before you have a chance to get you up, we'll get to a position like that where I need resistance. So I go down, you know I'm going further down. Now I go up. Now you're right up. Now I'll go down. But I'll try not to go down until you've reached your up. Otherwise, we'll be going down. Okay. And good. Quite a lot better. How does that feel? Yeah? Oh,
Well, you slap over the track.
up and down. Yeah? Oh, nice. Good. Yeah. There you go. Okay, so if I come in here and I'm looking at it like that, I'm not going to be as well aligned as if I'm here. As soon as I can, there's kind of a fight going on already, isn't there, here, right? Which I'm very aware of. Here is kind of all released, and I feel I've got freedom to do my up. Fine. So make sure again you're totally aligned. If I walk along the street like this, things tend to go wrong. I walk into people, I walk into lampposts, I walk into trees. So I'd rather go this way. Oh no, I want to change direction. Yeah. So everything goes where you want it to go. So let's focus. Keep everything aligned. Try again. I know I'm aligned bodily because I can feel it. And I can feel it in my body. This way. Don't even bother to look at it. You don't need to. She's lovely, I know, but you know, you don't need to look. Yeah. You know what that did? That pulled her through in a way that didn't in a biblical perspective. Yes. That's very nice. Just point it out on this thing. I can stand this side by side for a second. Yeah, there's about a 4-inch height differential. That does make a difference, right? So, you know, I'll exaggerate that. I cannot possibly get up to this. Oh, I'm going to go up this time. Now I'm here. Okay, actually, I'm pulling it so far. But I can't get above him, can I? Not with my body anyway. So let's try. Stay. Whoa. Yeah, it was late or something, I think. Try. I'm going to use that mind movement. But if you're committed to the up and down energy wise, that will struggle with your big height. Okay, try again. Not try into again because you're doing it very nicely. Yeah, nice. Good. Good point to support you and everything. Yeah, nice. All right. Thank you very much. So, let's see the next item. But bring all of you with it. So that comes that you can move your hand down. Yeah, it's good if he stops. But I do need to know that there's some power there. So I want to know I'm there. And that if I carry it on, it would be nice. So here's a case in point. There's his line of attack. I don't really want to be there, right? And this is where I come off the line in order to join up with the line. So I have to come off in order to hop on board. Yeah, nice and close that one, wasn't it? Okay, and I wouldn't leave my hand behind like this. So as I'm turning, my hand is turning with me, and that has two good things it does. One, it deflects in, and two, it creates a blend. Now, and when you're punching, so I'm going to come to you, right? You're going to do the avoidance, because that's a good idea. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to go fast there. I don't really want to end up here. I don't want to fall. I'm either going to be dropped to the ground like that. I really want to come back, so he'd probably fall. What I want to do is stay lined up, just like we were doing the time of Aikido. And I don't want to be doing this. I want to be that one missed, maybe this one, if I'm lucky. Yeah. We slow it right down. We don't always make it obvious that there was a secondary attack coming into doing it, because we want to get to the place where ultimately that's exactly what I'm going for, but I never get that chance because you're already on the move. Right. Okay. So how much off the line do we want to get? Oh, I should think. That's going to be really. Yes, that's right. I create the space for you to make it much easier to attack. Want adjustments. So I've got bits I can attack. Yeah. So a miss is as good as a mile. And the closer he is to me, yeah, much harder to control him from here than from here. Yeah. So no big steps. It's just turning around your center. And lining up with him ultimately. So my hips should be aligned with where his hips are now pointing. So there's another line to be aware of here. We have a parallel between our two centers at this point in time. And as he's stepping in slowly, so slowly, I'm changing the relationship. But ultimately, we have that alignment again. We end up side by side, rather than parallel, but we have we're both going horizontally. Yep. Okay. No license to punch you. How good does it get? Slightly smoother. So we want to be able to kind of move it. That's much better. Okay, good morning. Happy? Anything you'd like to see improved?
Always open for criticism. Always open.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, good morning. Come back again, so we'll see you think. Yep, good. What we do once again, avoid slightly, is completely through. We end up like this, really stretched now. Yeah. So it's a bit like when I offer my sword like that, I'm vulnerable at the end now. Coming like that, everything's behind it, but still pretty solid unit. So coming slowly continuing, I'll join up with this and I let my body move in order to keep that nice alignment and to keep the technique happening in this zone, this triangle in front of me, rather than that extended one there. Okay. Good. Yeah, that's good. So, what we've got is the force coming in this way. It's quite a big force, I have to recognize that. So, I either want to get off the line or off the line. But ultimately, here on this technique, I want to align myself with. Still in a powerful position here. Because that fist is in front of his center line. I really want to take him from there to there. I want to take him from there to there. Okay, because here he's slightly out of alignment. He's easy to move, not so much from that place. Okay. So equally, if I got him here where my hand is, I'm not so easy to move, right? So if I take him out of balance, what does he do as a natural human being? He does that. He takes a step. Great. Good. We're on the same train here. So when I bring him out of his center, we create movement because he's now looking to get his balance back all the time until it's finished. So it's a very subtle transition from coming in here to bringing it into this place and out of that place. I want to take him out from there to there. Yeah. And I'm never going to be more than just outside me to align to there. Yeah. Okay. Good. So I'm going to go. Let me 50 million lines to think of.
You want something? You're going to.
Do a little bit.
What? We're going to do each other?
Yeah. Could you relax that arm a bit? So, I've got you about my center line. I can feel my shoulders. I don't want the weight to go down. I want that to happen as well. That's better. you're more in control of yourself, right? And more in control of the, oh, of course, of course. And then ultimately, we're operating here. There's about a foot between her fist and my center. What I don't really want to be doing is this, because I've got very little room to maneuver here. So that becomes a pivotal point. I keep her on that line there, so that it feels comfortable to get that down. Also, here, reach out with that hand, I'm relatively safe. There's a bone here. I'm a bit cramped and I'm hitting. So it never strikes me as good. I want to be here, and when she strikes the hit, I'm going to allow her in and create the down on the wall. Yeah? Yes. Right. Good. So there's a lot of geometry going on here. Okay, so my hips are aligned with your hips. It's quite nicely. Hard. I'm not saying I couldn't power through that. I think I could, but it's become hard. Hips pointing at the camera rather than you. Again, this is hard. Somehow here, it seems so easy. So I want to maintain this relationship between us at the point of the foot. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. More. Don't allow yourself to get 2 steps down. Slightly closer to the center. Move. Move around. You don't want to step back, because what you're going to do is you're going to encourage you to come forward and fill that space. You're going to hold the center ground and let him come around. As he tries to enter your space, you're going to lose him. Yeah, just there's a little hole if you step back. Okay, right, so you're coming here. So we have a line here, and if he now extends some ki, I don't do anything, he takes me line. So it's not a problem here. He's not lined up, he's not got me yet. There's no point of connection. He's touching me, but he's not really impacting on me. There's going to come a point as he extends in where he finds that bridge between us. Can you feel that point? Suddenly my weight has sunk down onto my back foot and I'm now struggling to hold this. So he's created this line of connection between us. Now, what am I going to do with that connection? Am I going to let him take advantage of it, which you're welcome to? Just dashing off camera to bash the wall. Or am I going to use that connection in some way? So I use that connection and I stay just ahead of the wave. No, that's supposed to be, I think I'm a bit like that. Right, so yeah, I'm going to turn. Right, you can scratch. What just that? What was that? Good girl. Yeah. So when we're doing this for basic, we let them hold. When they're coming in at speed, we're mad, we let them hold. It's too late by then, all right? So if he's rushing in, we're not physically connected, but there's a vast amount of energy that entered way before he arrived. And I need to connect with that. Well, practice on basic. It's tough, actually. So, as you feel him coming, it's now happening, I should be taking a step back and draw up. Yep. That's going to create the tension between us that I want. So if I just do that, it's too much. Yep. Just so I need to come 1, 2 to give me that moment where I can do that. 1. This is still too straight. I need that little draw up to be able to do that part of the movement. So down. What do you want to do? It wants to come up. I follow it. No, you didn't know you did, but you did. So I just follow your hand. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to kind of slap it down, disconnect, and now I've created a great big hole for him to come through. I want to ride this like I would a horse. As it's coming up, I wrap my fingers around and I turn his wrist. And then I direct his pinkies towards his head. So there's a line here, a line of key. Wrap my fingers around it, and now I'm sending it to you, Caitlin. You should be falling over. Why are you falling over? It's certainly not affecting him. He's not going down. So I need to have this connection with him. This work. You know, push hard there.
No.
It's very light, wasn't it? But it immediately came on.
It's very, very light.
Yeah. So you need to have this connection with your partner. And it's not a wiggly line. That doesn't help. It's a straight line of connection with his head on that particular occasion. But I suspect if I sent it to the center, it would work as well. Okay, so let's have a look. Really want to turn out one way. If you do something to the side there, you want to be able to maintain a nice vertical position. Better. Twisted a bit though.
Yeah.
What's wrong with twisting?
That line.
A line, so then push, boom, and hit the other side. Yeah, I open myself up. Well, now I'm not open. I'm just out of distance. That brings me into distance. Yep. So your hips are there. You're stepping in, just don't bother your hand. I'm mirroring your kind of hip position as it changes. As your hips are turning on, my hips are turning. Okay. That's that. I'm just going to check in. So, team, any thoughts on lines so far?
It reminds me of wheel principles where you have the spokes.
Yeah.
And if you turn the wheel very slightly left or right,
Yeah,
that changes everything.
true, very true.
And also the guide dog principle as well. The handle's not straight. The reason for that is if the handle was straight, you keep walking into the dog. So you have the outside of the handle comes in like a part of a straight line with a bit, and then the inside is just a curve. So it's a small curve.
Yeah,
So that keeps you on the outside
okay,
of your line.
okay, it's interesting. Thoughts from Finn and Joe, if you have any? You may-
I have a couple, but I'll write you later. What I was thinking of, they say Ikkyo should be the technique for us to study our whole lives, but Taino Henko is the perfect one also because so many details, so simple and so difficult.
Yeah, there is a lot to think about.
Yeah.
And there are just tonight the theme is lines, and there's a lot of lines to be thinking of and aware of. You know, a lot of geometry.
I'm doing it wrong at the end. Yeah.
Let's just put you back into speaking.
Oh.
So give yourself more room. I think you're aware of the wall, and that's why. So maybe let's start from over there. So you've got room to step back and keep this nice parallel position. Move on. That position. Step back and draw your front foot up. My feet. So I step straight back and I draw up. There's not really any twisting there. 1, 2. If I do a lot of movement, if I'm coming at pace 7. We're not going particularly 1, 2. And you have to moderate the step to the power you're getting. Back a bit. And towards the wall, just so you don't crash into it.
Back.
So my front foot becomes my back foot, and I draw up.
There.
Yes, you draw up. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that was probably just a bit too vigorous because it was such a big step you pull onto you for the power line which you have. Yes, cadence thinking. Right. 1, 2, yes. Okay. So now, as we're stepping, understand it and so. As I'm stepping, this is how it's becoming. I can't really afford to go 1, 2, and then down. Might get away with that. This is becoming up. Another reason is because I want to be in the force before. Nice. Finish on a high. Not finish the lesson, just that technique. Right, okay. for a lifetime. Okay, so we've got a line here. Where does he want to go? He doesn't want to go up. He wants to go down, actually, either. Let's go that way. For the sake of argument, I'd like to go down. So you can be pressuring down to enter, or you can channel it from that and whatever reason. I don't know what you do that. So probably down is a sensible one. So I go down, and then after the end of the down, I need to create some space. So if I'm here, I can't lift that. I need to have this space here to lift that. Now, makes sense, doesn't it? Here's the end of the skipping rope, and he's bolting that to the floor. In the middle, it's not so easy to bolt because neither one of us controls this space. We're both there. Yep. So too much. So I need to create the space. We have to come up, nose up, go down. So there's a down, up, down here. Down, should step back, a step back, enter, down. Just going to change around. We've got to this place here. Now, I want to be aligned with his body here. This is no good. Why is it no good? There was that. Another more fundamental reason, you can perhaps hook that leg with your hand. Same with that foot, you've got a chance to attack it, which we don't really want. Here, you can't get hold of my leg, right? Very well. So here, we have to make sure that our mental alignment is right. So here's my physical alignment, and I want this as close to my body as possible. Stand there a little bit. Want to avoid a big gap between here and my body. Stand up here. Very easy, right? When I put everything on it like that, much harder. Yeah, good. Okay, but if I think the way to the floor is through his arm, not a lot happens. What do I want to go to the floor? Not his arm. I don't want to make the mistake that we made right in the warm-up, where a bit of us disconnected from the rest of our body. I want to be connected to the whole of his body. So this is the wiring that gives me connection to the whole of his body. And here I think about his center line, and in particular, I follow his nose down to the floor. That sounds weird, and it is weird, frankly. But I am not focused on his body. I'm thinking of an energy line from there straight to the floor. Now, he will go forward. And because I want to keep my alignment and I want to keep my connection, I have to go forward as well. But my mind is focusing down the whole time because that's where your energy is now taken. Make sense? So let's have nice first floor Aikido, lots of up and down. We're thinking about that, then we're thinking about getting in and aligning with our partner, and then the energy alignment from his center line to the floor. So I'm really, 10 things to think of. Now. That's it. Down, down, up, and down. Make sure you're right by him. So is your arm, your hips around that. Yeah, good. And his nose to the floor. Oh, you're okay. You're okay. Yes. Nice. Back, in and get stretched. Now let's come up. Now you can exit. Now you get out. Now you need to get closer. Even closer. Okay, so turn around that way. So maybe you can pick this up on camera, maybe it's hard to see, but his hand is by his bottom and his shoulder, guess what, is a bit higher than that. So this makes it difficult to align if the hand is back here and to get close to his body. So I can keep him down, but I'm probably going to struggle a little bit with the technique. And I already feel I'm a little bit vulnerable here on that leg. I really want to be here. I want this arm to be parallel, a line across here, so that my hips can get straight in line. And don't look at the down bit from the up bit. Now I've kind of got this weights changed. I enter. Look, just the entering is kind of enough. Yep. So hand, elbow, shoulder, head. In a line.
Okay, don't, if you stop and I don't go, don't give up. All right? Don't stop.
Forward. That in itself will very often be
Right?
walking forward is often
Yeah.
enough. This is what the connection then, and the down comes through the hand. Good. So I was telling you to think through the nose, and that's fine. But already my energy is going straight down to the floor. If I'm well connected with him, so this is kind of like glued to me, and there's a general downward direction in my energy, when I walk forward, as long as I maintain that connection with my partner, he will go down. So my hands are in the same position, his arm is in the same position. Did that feel the same?
No.
No. Bad. Good. So that's a good way to do it.
I didn't.
Okay, so now I'm actually thinking forwards. And he should be able to do that. Well, now my mind is focused down, so that as I step forward, it's still down. So I'm connected to him, and his body's so out of alignment, it becomes really easy to take him down. So it's not like I'm not connected to this center line. I am. Everything's plugged into his whole system. One way of plugging into his system is to be thinking of that center line, and the nose in particular. But it's not the only way to get there. There are other ways. I can just do it through the connection we have between us and wanting that connection. So it's more than just having the hand there. It's there, but actually I'm thinking of you at this point, and it doesn't work. I have to be thinking of the connection between us. Good point. Okay, so let me turn you around. If you end up in this position, you've lost a huge bit of the connection. I know I'm not in control. I need to be there to make that work. You need that alignment and that connection, usually to make techniques work. Good to go? Just try the last bit if you like.
4 minutes.
Or you can
Do I go from that place or do I go from start?
and get close. And keep traveling. Keep traveling. Yeah. on the diagonal. Look on the diagonal, a little more space there. Keep walking, walking. There's kind of it's that barrier. One thing you're doing is you're making the arm come in alignment. You know, if you keep walking forward, you're going to do it from there to there, aren't you? From there to there. You keep the connection. And walking and walking and walking. Often Aikido is as simple as walking. Walking. Yeah. Yes, very good. Right, let me show you again. So this one comes off. You're sweeping off that line. So this is the line of attack he wants. And if I let him carry on with that, that's bad news for me. So, one. Watch my foot movement if you can see it. There. And notice that my front foot stays on the line and that goes in his space. So his body now goes back a bit. While he's trying to adjust to that, then I settle and I sweep. So there was a movement earlier on where I said come back one, draw up one. Yeah. So the back one is still good. It's the drawing up one that makes the movement and stretches him out. And without this hand, he follows. So I've still got the problem. So that one stops him thinking about stepping in here. Because it could be that. Well, even that's not much fun. So it's one. And now I draw up. That's the stretch I want. And I don't want to withdraw that so you can take that step. And that's when I sweep off. Okay? And we come to Kota. Right. One, two. Now we've got a line which we can enter. I'm not interested in this at this point in time because you can hit me here, but not so much here. Actually, we're not going to do that. Actually, we'll do it wrong. So, one, two, up, down. When you get down, you get an up, and then you get down. Right, so lots of up and down here. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Try to avoid that final down being forward and down, because that's what will happen. He'll just walk forward. You want him up, off balance, so that he wants to settle down. How many ups and downs? How much did you have? How many ups? How many downs? Quite a few. I think it's 3 of each. We'll see. One. That's one up. One down. 2 up. 2 down. 3 up. 3 down. Good. Okay, off we go. So you're attacking the shoulder. Cool. So defend yourself.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yes.
So then you're taking a step back and then second, you draw up as this one comes out of her face and down. Okay, so important point here. Okay, so if I just put this hand any old place, it's problematic. Because that's not where her mind's at, is it? Her mind's where she's grabbing. So I at least need to go to the end there where her mind is, if I'm to stand any chance at all. It's very easy. Okay. The trouble is, she's centered here. She's not out of alignment. So even if I come to the end here, this is problematic. What I need is you stay there and I'm going to move it. I want to create that little bit of tension between us because now moving has made it easy. Yep. So I want to take her from this position where you kind of see a little curve in the arm to a straighter arm. Yeah? It feels different, doesn't it? No, I'm physically doing it. I'm creating the tension at that end at this point in time. So that's what I'm doing by this stretch. Just straightening that out and creating some tension in her arm to make it good. Okay. Down, and up, and carefully down. Yeah. Thank you. So, up, down, up, down, up. Go back. When you do that final down, try to avoid this. Okay, can you stand up now? Yes, you could. Okay. So I want to be going down, maintain my alignment so that I'm right above that. I can extend through her elbow to the floor. Up, down, up, down, up. It's really gratuitous play. I mean, you're going to throw her about 3 times before there, but we choose to keep bouncing the ball. Down, up, down, up, down. A little bit more down when you're brushing her off. You don't want your hand go to there or just to make her let go. Drop her body so that her head's down and she wants to bounce up and use her energy to propel into the next up and down.
Not her now.
That's much better. Yes, 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 yes. And up and nice. Down, up, down, up and down. Stop. Flying up and down. Guess what? Your arm still doesn't reach any further than that. I can't make it touch the floor. I can't extend your arm. So if my arm and my mind drop to the end of my fingers, this is kind of what will happen. I need to be thinking to the floor to get that impact. And I need to now be extending down and to her as a body, as opposed to here. Now, was that painful on the way down? Okay. Would it be painful if you tried to stand up now? Yes, it would be painful. So it's, I don't inflict the pain. Does she want to inflict it on herself? She can if she wants to. Okay, at this point, remember, when we did that Ikkyo, I said that they're so out of alignment that as long as you walk forward, the rest will kind of take care of itself. It's already falling to the floor. So, it's a gravity drill. Where does gravity travel? In straight lines, straight to the floor. Boom. Then you get quite dramatic. Just. So your final attempted trick of the night is to hold really lightly, when you grip, hold really lightly and drop. See if you can get it. Okay.
When you start,
No, just that bit.
just that.
And we'll turn. Just put the pressure on.
Face the
Say hello to your audience. Nice. Good. Sometimes, as we're falling through the arc, we tend to let our energy come into the ball. We follow the circle of our arm. Don't. Although the arm is going to fall through the arc, your mind is just plummeting straight down. Yes. That just created a bit more down. You stay on top of it. Okay, okay. And when I'm going to make this easy, just drop it. So, you can start there, because that's much easier than starting. It's not bad. So if you don't get all the way down, it's okay, that's what we're practicing.
Your mind feels like it's on here.
That's the one. Well done. Yeah, good. Okay, so I don't think he doesn't want to go to the floor. Okay? He's holding one up for you, right? If I felt him, if I felt the weight in my hand, I could go straight down. But when you feel someone saying, "Oh, you want to take me down, let's do it. I'm not going to do it."
I'm not like
Good.
that.
I'm trying to we all do this, right? So that's definitely not a down signal. That is a I need to hold my arm up signal. Okay. So my first movement needs to be up to get down over. So it's about observing those early signals. Does he feel like he wants to go? Oh, actually, he doesn't. Where does he want to go? I'll take him there. Right. Okay. Let's finish on that. Yes, you can. Absolutely. You feel the way.
What do you do? Yeah, okay.
Good. All right, so yeah, now for a second. Okay, any thoughts, gang? You can shake your head if you have no thoughts. Empty minds, that's what I like. That's what we're supposed to have, isn't it? An empty mind.
I wrote you some topics for further studies.
Okay. Yeah, it's just something to be aware of. You know, so we have all these techniques, but there is always lots of lines involved of one type or another. We're either trying to step off the line, we're trying to blend with a line, we're trying to meet as a line, we're trying to make sure that we create a suitable distance on a line between us. You know, I'm not going to line up and have a discussion here if we're being martial. You could see that on camera. I was right in Caitlin's face. We observe mine. There's a kind of distance and a line between you there. There's alignment of hips. There's alignment in your body. Sometimes we step off the line. There's just So much going on. There's lines of ki, which are different to where your body is, and they're all to be played with. And so you can play with the physical lines, you can play with the mental lines, you can put the two together, you can focus on one lesson, another on another lesson. Yeah. And if you think about what we face in everyday life, because I like to, you're aligning with what energy is coming with you, and you're adopting the same techniques in those situations. Someone's shouting at you, you can shout back, and then we have the clash that we had in Aikido, or you can kind of step off the line, you can join them and say, I see why you're so upset, tell me more about that. And within seconds, they calm right down. And then you can add the information you wanted to tell them in the first place, like, yeah, the bus gauge is closed, sorry. Or whatever it is when they miss their bus. That's what came into my head. All right, so any questions, any thoughts, final thoughts? I'll take that as a no. So we'll bow to our lovely audience. We'll bow to each other. Side. Always tough. It's just one person. Spotlight the whole thing Wednesday.
Plus, when I first took my first anger, all the time. I mean, really all the time, really obstructive and negative and pathetic. Give them to. I've tried to learn from that. You have to try and teach your partner, not make it difficult or destructive, but to teach them and not be awkward. So I try to keep them not awkward, so you can feel what's going on.
How react to what we're going to
Yeah.
Some people beautiful to flow with the others.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to turn the recording off at this point. Tomorrow I will be putting 2 recordings on, last week and this